Ladies and gentlemen, if you're a conservative, you are now fully under psychological warfare. Yes, psychological warfare has come to your front door, and do not allow yourself to fall victim. I'm telling you, don't let yourself fall victim because, oh boy, we finna go on a roller coaster ride of psychological warfare. It's already started.
MAGA hats are off, America First hats are on. Burn, baby, burn. And this is a great representation of what's left of MAGA.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, what I predicted would happen has happened. And Donald Trump is taking a stand, which you gotta know he has to take a stand. But it is what it is, and let me bring it forward to you. Breaking. Donald Trump defends Pam Bondi amid Epstein cover-up fiasco. Nobody cares about Jeffrey Epstein. Now, before I read this article, I'm going to say this. I'm even more now convinced that he's blackmailing the hell out of everybody with this information. I really wish he would come out and tell people what he's doing, because what he does next only makes sense in this context. And I'm going to read it to you. Because if this is not the final conclusion from this, then we got us a major problem on our hands. How come I can't zoom in on this? Let's make this bigger. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. What's going on with my boys and girls? In some cases, my boys, and girls, in some cases, girls. They're going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job. We are on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world, and selfish, quote unquote, selfish people are trying to hurt it. All over a guy who never dies. Jeffrey Epstein. For years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration, who conned the world with the Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agencies, the laptop from hell, and more? They created the Epstein's file just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton, Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me. And now my so-called quote-unquote friends are playing right into their hands. Why didn't the radical leftist lunatics release the Epstein's files if there was anything in them that could have hurt the MAGA movement? Why didn't they use it? They haven't even given up on John F. Kennedy or Martin Luther King Jr. files. No matter how much success we have had securing the border, deporting criminals, fixing the economy, energy domination, and safer world where Iran will no longer have nuclear weapons, it's never enough for some people. We're about to achieve more in 6 months than any other administration has achieved in 100 years. We have so much more to do. We are saving our country, making America great again, which will continue to be our complete priority. The left is imploding. Kash Patel and the FBI must be focused on investigating voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue, the rigged and stolen election of 2020, and arresting thugs and criminals instead of spending month after month looking at nothing but the same old radical left-inspired documents of Jeffrey Epstein. Let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen, and they tried to do the same thing in 2024. That's what she's looking into as AG and much more. 1 year ago, our country was dead. Now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Wow. I feared this because of the disappointment that people would feel. Because it's people like closure, and it's human nature. And unfortunately, they're not getting closure on this. People like results, but they want the results that they want. I'm even more of the mind that, what the hell is this? I'm even more of the mind that he's blackmailing the hell out of people with the Jeffrey Epstein files. And it would make sense. I showed you some document. I showed you some news articles earlier in the video earlier today that kind of showed you that people were turning in different directions. And it would make sense that Donald Trump is using the Epstein files to blackmail people. And I would say this: in war, which this is war, and I think people kind of forget it, you don't want to give up your best leverage. Now, does that mean that these people are going to get away with it? I don't know, guys. I can't tell you that. I suspect that he knows that this is important to people. I don't believe for one moment that he can let it go. But I also knew that the minute you came out and rose up against him, he couldn't allow those people to move him. You just can't. Because if you can move the needle with screaming and hollering and fussing, this time you can move the needle every time. And so when someone says, well, who's in control of our government? I think he just told you who's in control of the government. And this is this is a head wound to the MAGA movement. I'm just gonna be real with you. This is a wound that's not going to heal. This is not going to go away. That statement only made it worse. Um, but I get it. I get why he had to make the statement. I don't think that these pedophiles and these criminals should get away with it. But I'm not sure that he's saying they will get away with it. I don't think that's what he's saying, because there's more roads to the prosecution of these people than just Epstein. So if you want to get Hillary Clinton, Obama, and all the rest of these people, we know the election was stolen. And then there's this aspect of, if they still have their infrastructure in place to still do in 2026, then his head is back on a chopping block again as well. I hate to say it. I'm sorry to see it happen, but I kind of felt that this was coming. I mean, put yourself in his shoes. I mean, really, put yourself in his shoes. And then the other issue is, I'm not sure how much. Well, I'm pretty sure he saw everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he saw um, all the videos of people talking to him. But it's a disappointing thing. But I personally believe it may be a necessary thing. Hold on, let's go take a look at something else. I want to see what's happened since he responded. And what we're looking for is how people are taking what he said. And so far, the only response that I've seen, I've been to Brittany Johnson, Alex Jones, um, Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk. So far, the only response I've seen has been Megyn Kelly. That makes sense because Megyn Kelly's a dog. I'm sure it's a relief for Pam Bondi to hear the president is still in her corner. Unfortunately, who swapped to the party are not. She repeatedly misled on Epstein, didn't have the courage to explain herself. Suddenly, she's camera shy, no cues allowed. Good luck. Well, I'll say this: if the concern was that Pam Bondi would have an ability to run for president or vice president, she just lost that ability. I mean, let's just keep it real. Let's see what Bill O'Reilly's saying. Let's go to Bill O'Reilly. No, nothing from Bill O'Reilly. Let's go and look at Sean Hannity. Nothing on Sean Hannity. Let's go to Right Angle News real quick. They're having a conversation. I don't want to listen to their conversation. I wanted to go to their channel, but I should be able to get to it. Hell, let me listen to what they're saying.
And I've tried so hard to keep the balance of emotion and rationale. But I'm fed up. I really am. And you're speaking through me, man. Proud of you. That's all I got to say.
Thanks, DJ. Much appreciated, brother. Right angle news. I want to get your take, man. How do you feel about the news today? Are you there, brother? Let's go to Tanya while we wait, and then I'll go through the rest of the hands.
Awesome. Thank you. I was trying to speak yesterday, but I was driving, so it didn't work out very well, and I know better. So I appreciate you bringing me on today. My, so I don't know. A couple things I've noticed. I've noticed number one, Susie Wilds and Pam Bondi both came out of Florida. So during the campaign, Wiles was fired by DeSantis. I don't have a clear understanding of why, other than they disagreed on um the the proper way to go about the campaign, their tactics. So that's one piece. Two, I don't know if
How is
y'all
that? Is that you just looking at Wiles' tenure? Because people
well,
keep saying that to me, and I'm like, well, what is that?
okay, hold on. I'll put the pieces together. So number two, Pam Bondi, also from Florida. I don't know if y'all remember during the campaign, the primary, that there was a group of influencers who decided to go for DeSantis, and they all met in Florida and had basically a little powwow, and then they all came on
I never
X.
paid any attention to DeSantis supporters.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, it's the reason it's important is because a lot of those people came on X and were screaming at each other, at everybody, right? Well, a lot of those people are the same people who are saying, "Don't look at the DeSantis. We don't need to see the Epstein files." Um, my m- my thought here is that we all know that DeSantis was being backed by Bush and the Roves. I mean, that was all very well known. And I believe that Susie Wiles was a plant from the old Republican Party into the Trump administration. And I think that Pam Bondi is a great pick for AG because I mean, she's the one who's going to protect those people, not just about the Epstein files, but around everything that they have done. Bush is the one who was in charge when Epstein was.
I have heard enough. What do you hear? Now, if you're here with me, we are not, we don't react to the news and react emotionally to things. I'm sorry. I'm not built that way. I'm just not built that way. It's logic with me, strategy with me, and thinking with me. But what do you hear in those people's voices? I tell you what I hear. I hear demoralized people. And that's what I was trying to see. And this was the danger of this road, was the demoralization of Donald Trump's base. Now, the issue is, in order to infuse them again with excitement, he's going to have to do something massive. I'm a part of the base, not just because of Epstein. Do I want to see him the people get arrested? Absolutely. Hell yes. I think it's a must do thing. Is it going to demoralize me over this? No. Because I understand evil and I understand wickedness. And I said from day one, people act as if you're playing a 13-degree chess move being made, but there's nobody on the other side of the chessboard. How does he dig himself out of this hole? It's going to be more than Comey and Clapper and Brennan, that he got to do more than Comey and Brennan to get himself out of this hole. But I'll say this. If Brennan and Comey do not get indicted and arrested, it's over. If that doesn't happen before 2026, it's a wrap. We right back to Democrats. And we're not right back to Democrats um because of anything that the Democratic Party would do. It will be right back to Democrats because of this. Because people have been demoralized and they won't come out and vote. This is the problem that you get when you idolize a man. I'm sorry, this is what you get when you idolize him. I remember people be like, James, you act like Trump is God. You ain't never heard that shit come out my mouth. I understand that he's a man like I'm a man. He's a very popular man, and men make mistakes. So, whatever the reason is why he's taking this stand, people are going to speculate on it. The more they speculate on it, the more anger and frustration people are going to experience. I'm going to tell you this. Don't allow yourself to be brought into that speculation, and don't allow yourself to get on that roller coaster, because at the end of the day, you can't control that. I'm sorry, you just can't control it. And I'm not saying detach from it, but what you're about to see is now you're going to see people detach from, emotionally detach from this. Let me see what Ben Shapiro is saying. Hold on. Nothing. Today is the 12th, not a post. Give me a second. This is what Donald Trump Jr. is saying. Not a post. And this goes further to make me believe that the White House has reached out to people. Well, let's see. Megyn Kelly's talking, so let's see what. I can confirm it's Bongino or Bondi, and the pick is obvious. Bondi must go. Yep. Let's look at Chief Nerd real quick. Hopefully I can see this. Pause. This is what I was talking about. This was the danger of it. I'm gonna read this because it's gonna be too small on your screen. Real L. Milford, you are losing. You can't really see. You're losing too rare in your base. Yeah, I mean, it's too small to read the writing. America cares because there needs to be accountability. Without accountability, the same sickos that were his customers are likely to still abuse children. On top of that, it is a slap in the face to many victims that have come forward or people that are living with the memories of ruined childhood. This can't be swept under the rug. I'm going to say something to you guys. You know the thing about strife like this? We cannot evaluate what's true emotions, especially in text like this, like in post. Like when people posting and responding, you can't really use that and weigh that heavily. You want to know why? Because it's prime territory for false flags, for people to attack and start psychological operations. And in fact, you can just go ahead and say it right now. The mistakes that have been made, I'm going to have to put this on Donald Trump's lap as well. The mistakes that have been made by Donald Trump, Pam Bondi, and others have now turned Epstein into the greatest psychological operation there is that will divide people. Ready to eat? All right, I'm coming. It's turned into the greatest psychological operation there is. This is now a psyop being used, and it will be used as a psyop against MAGA. I'm sorry. And nobody else is going to say this to you because they're all going to be too emotional and upset and mad and angry, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to tell you, it has now become a psychological operation against you. And the way you deal with a psychological operation that's been launched against you is, especially one like this that you can't control, is you have to turn it off. And it's a win-win for wicked people either way it goes. Because they're going to get strife on one hand and pride with people who want to fight on the other. And you're going to get other people who tune out. The tuning out, it means it's going to start out by tuning out to this. Then they're going to tune out to Donald. So now Donald's going to have to win his trust of his base back. And you'll see it when the poll numbers come out. They're going to do another poll. Today's Saturday. Watch by Monday or Tuesday. CNN will be running another poll and his number's going to be crashed. But it's crashing over this. And again, as those numbers crash, Next week's going to be dominated by this because the issue is not solved. And here's the problem with it. The issue can never be solved because you put it on a table. You're always going to have someone fomenting that division amongst the MAGA base. This was the gravest mistake that was made in the MAGA movement. And it might be a dire mistake for the MAGA movement. I'm just going to keep it real with you. I mean, he would have to, like, literally, you would have to do something dramatic to get past this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button.